From the NewsChannel 5 network, this is OpenLine.
Well, good evening and welcome into OpenLine. I'm Chuck Long, glad to be here for the next hour. One of my favorite times on OpenLine is when we do Ask an Attorney, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing tonight with one of our all-time favorite guests, Kevin Kennedy, attorney. Kevin Kennedy from the Kennedy Law Firm. Every time Kevin's here, and especially I think in these times, you think, I just need some reassurance. I've got some questions. I'd like to get them answered. I'd like to have them answered authentically. Well, that's exactly what Kevin does. So let's welcome him to the show for the next hour. Kevin Kennedy from the Kennedy Law Firm. How are you, Kevin?
I'm good, Chuck, and I'm glad to see you. I've been having some separation anxiety disorder because I can't be there with all my friends at Channel 5. But I'm delighted to see you tonight, and I'm excited about the broadcast that we can share and help some people. Maybe we can give you some direction and some peace, some comfort, and some solutions, a good plan of action.
Well,
so I want to encourage everyone, if you got those questions, write them down and we'll do it.
Well, that's exactly right. And, Kevin, that's the thing. And as I was saying at the top of the show, I think, a lot of times people have these questions, these legal questions, and they're not sure who to ask, where to turn. But there's something about the times that we're in right now. Everybody's just a little bit more anxious,
Yes.
kind of the uncertainty. And this is a time, too, that you can kind of alleviate some of those fears by the questions that you answer for the viewers that are calling in.
Yeah, well, we are hearing it like crazy at the law firm. Some people say the Kennedy Law Firm waiting room is like an emergency waiting room. That's not a law office. And I'm delighted to report that there's so many people there. It is overwhelming some days when there is so many needs. So that's why I love Channel 5. And the team there that can make this possible, because you could just get a little advice and it'll let you sleep at night. We're talking with some of the lawyers. People are having a harder time to sleep because there's so much anxiety about the unknown. And let me teach you a little lesson here, Chuck. When we do have courts, the courts are packed. There's been a backlog. So all these problems are going to manifest themselves in the judicial system. And it leaves the problems, well, is there enough lawyers to meet the needs of the people? So I'm delighted and can't wait to try to share. One of the beautiful things, Chuck, if you got the answers and you can give them and take some rest of mind on the general public, please let us do our best to help you.
Absolutely. And again, the thing that I always love, or one of the many things that I love about this hour, is that question that viewer might have, it not only helps them to hear your answer, but there are so many other people that can benefit from it too. I know I sit here and I benefit from so many of your answers that you're giving. And if you're just tuning in, this is, of course, Ask an Attorney on OpenLine. We're talking to Kevin Kennedy, attorney Kevin Kennedy from the Kennedy Law Firm. Over 35 years of experience, an incredible law firm, one of the very best in the state of Tennessee. We hear from so many different people out there about personal injury or medical malpractice, employment discrimination, car accidents, truck accidents. What do you do? Where do you turn? This is the hour that you can ask those questions. So, Kevin, if you're ready, we've already got the phones busy. If you are just tuning in, don't forget, if you have that question or comment, 737-7587 is the number to call. Get on the line as quickly as possible so we can get to as many of those calls as possible. We're going to start with Wayne tonight. Wayne, you are on the line. Do you have a question or a comment for Kevin?
Yes, I entered into a contract with a person or a company to get rid of my timeshare, and they said they would take care of everything. Then they sent me a whole collaboration of paperwork to fill out, which I refused to do. They said if they couldn't get it out, I'd get all my money back. I want my money back.
Okay, well, the first thing we're going to say is caveat emptor, and that's a little Latin to start off the show. It's let the buyer beware. So many companies can make the wildest representations you have ever heard. I wish I had an hour or that I could tell you all the examples where we have people, average, everyday people, that really, you get hoodoo. They come in and they say, we can do this, we guarantee, and their guarantees are really worthless. So I'm sorry to say, I'll hear people say, well, I guarantee you I can get you out of that. Well, the truth is, they don't even know who the lawyers are going to be involved. They don't know what judge is going to hear that. And are they even lawyers who are trying to tell you this is how I'm going to get you out of it? So that's why we have Tennessee Consumer Affairs. You can file a complaint, and we have governmental officials, government agencies that can watchdog and attack these situations. And you need to report it because that you are a victim and you'll continue to be victimized. You always have the right to go to court and sue them and pursue it, and you can get a judgment. I didn't say you'd collect the judgment, but I did say you'd have a chance to prove your case and probably will win your case. So go to the government agencies first, see if they'll give you any relief. They have the power to jerk their license.
All right, great advice. Thank you so much, Kevin. Wayne, we appreciate your call starting the show off tonight. And, you know, one of the things, too, if you're just tuning in and you're wondering, you know, is it a good idea to call or should you call? We welcome all questions, all comments. You know, one of the things that we've talked to Kevin about many times is the fact that not actually having a lawyer may often cost you more. So this is a way, that's right, to get the advice straight from Kevin. Kevin, we're going right back to the phones right now. So Charles is on the line with us. Charles, good evening. Do you have a question or a comment for Kevin?
Who?
Are you with us, Charles? Charles, go ahead with your question.
This Tom?
Yes.
Yeah. My name. I was thinking about the code thing. I feel it really bad, but turning people on probation or parole. If you think not that they're in trouble or nothing, would the government possibly just kind of like try to shove us inside an institution because we're really sick, if we have it, or if we didn't have it, or you just kind of like get us out of the way, you know? I mean, and where would I turn to? Or because I haven't heard nothing like that, but I was kind of wondering that, you know.
Okay.
I didn't get to hear all of his question, Chuck.
Well, basically, Kevin,
yeah,
was asking if someone has COVID and you know, and they might you know, be the government may say, you know, we want to lock you up, put you away, that kind of thing. Kind of how do people respond to something like that?
Well, obviously, you know, sometimes people say, wow, what about the government? They are prosecuting me unfairly. The truth is, you always have to advance your own rights. And that's why you're trying to learn some from me tonight. And what we said a little earlier, Chuck, I'm always preaching it. Always get a lawyer. There's a lot of lawyers that give free legal advice all the time. It's a free initial consultation. You should pick up the phone. And remember this, if it offends you personally, a sense of justice, there's probably a law against it. And there's probably an agency who is there to help you. If it's the district, someone does a crime against you, you can go to the district attorney. I'm in Montgomery County. There's today, every county has their own district attorney. And they have prosecutors. And should those prosecutors take a role that is too aggressive, inappropriate, then there's people over them that you can go and get some resolution. We've said this many times, the squeaky door gets the oil. Strong people stand up for themselves, stronger stand up for others. Get some help. And if you need a pastor to go with you and say, I like to have a witness, I like to have two of us say, did I understand what he just told me? What would the reasonable, rational person do under those circumstances? Keep asking questions, keep pursuing it. If you let it die, it will die.
All right, good to know. So thanks so much, Kevin. All right, again, phone line's extremely busy. If you are just tuning in, this is Open Line. This is your time to ask live on air the questions that you may have, any legal questions or comments with Kevin Kennedy, the expert in the legal field. So that number is on your screen, 737-7587, as we go back to the lines right now. So Ken is on the line. Ken, you are on. Do you have a question for Kevin? Can you hear us, Ken?
Hello?
Yes, Ken, go ahead.
Karen.
Karen, okay. All right, sorry about that, Karen. Okay, go right ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Kennedy and host. I need some help with an ADA matter and also with a breach of contract matter, because what happened is I applied for short-term disability under an employer policy that I paid for, and subsequently it was denied. However, my doctor has me off until a certain time, and so now I'm seeking the ADA, and which, as I understand it, the employer is supposed to allow you that accommodation if you need to be off work under the ADA. And the employer has not even informed me whether or not they're going to allow that. So I need an attorney to help me with this. Can I call your firm?
Yes, and you have identified a beautiful issue. Remember, one of the first things all of us should do in an analysis, identify the issues. You're speaking very articulately tonight about the ADA, and for those who don't understand what that really means, that's the American Disabilities Act. That's a federal law. And there's certain things that employers have to follow. Remember, federal law is superior to state law. State law is superior to the city law. And so, and then we all have hearings, and they're always set up where you can have an appeal. So you can have an employer who will not follow the law. If that's the case, then you may have to get a lawyer and bring a lawsuit. But I submit to you, the American Disabilities Association, you go on the internet, you look, you file a complaint, you can get their attention, and they will assist you. So that's the first step I would do with what you're, identify the issues, identify the agencies, and then let's take a proactive approach. And there's a number of lawyers who specialize in American disabilities problems, and that's where you have the seeing eye dog. You know, we have some businesses, you can't bring this dog in our business. People call, well, the law is you really do. You have to allow them to do that. And then they say, well, I don't have facilities, bathroom facilities that will meet a wheelchair. Well, you got a problem. You're going to have to meet those, or that they can be fined. So I'm encouraging you just to keep on pursuing, ma'am. Thank you for that, Karen. And I'm so sorry you're having to deal with these kind of issues.
All right. Good advice. Thank you so much for calling, Karen. We appreciate those that have already gotten on the line with us. We're going to take a short break. We'll get back with Open Line and more of your questions right after this. So come on back with us.